The new DLC has just launched for Age of Empires 4. It's Knights of Cross and Rose, and we're going to have a little look. Jump into some skirmish modes and get that free camera on and do a little first impressions video. I guess I got House of Lancaster on there already, so maybe let's kick it off with them. Make sure cheats are enabled, and Carmel, this is one of the new maps as well. So yeah, let's jump in to House of Lancaster. I will be making a in-depth video for each civ, so that'll come out later in the week or early next week, I think. First off, there's a lot of sheep here. That's 9 sheep. I think they get an extra 4 from their first TC and any TCs they put down, actually. We can have a look at the tech tree quick. Feudalism, build manors to generate passive income in the feudal age. There's a lot of conversation, shall we say, around the manors at the moment. I think people are finding them far too strong and difficult to contend with. But we're going to leave the balance out of this one. This is going to be just a sort of look at the civs in general. Kick off with the barracks. I don't think there's anything new in feudal. There's just the normal spearmen, so that's fine. Does look like we have some new upgrades though. Billmen. Spearmen equip tempered bills, reducing the armor of enemies by -2 when attacking. That seems pretty good. I actually like giving spearmen kind of another reason other than just anti-cavalry. Unless this turns out to be really strong. That's quite a nice ability. Okay, let's take up to feudal. Let's go with the Abbey of Kings first. So it has the standard healing aura, and you can now ordain up to 4 Lords of Lancaster, powerful melee leaders which increase the max health of nearby military units by +5% each, and you get a free one upon completion. Let's get these sheep out of here, because they are loud. Alright, so this is the Abbey of Kings. We have seen this landmark before. Nothing new here, but this guy over here is very new. Let's put him in the sunlight out front. He's got the nice crown to differentiate him from other units. I mean, he's looking he's splendid. Big old, what looks like a 2-handed sword, but able to wield it with one hand. Nice shield. And he has the Lord of Lancaster inspiration. 5% max health to nearby military units. And you can get up to 4 of them. That's an extra 20% health on every unit. So if we, how big's the aura? So if we have this spearman out of the aura, he has 80 health. And if he steps in, he's got 97. That is, I mean, that's a massive buff. That's army wide as well, so it's going to be pretty strong. I like the unit. It's a little soft on the shield. The coat of arms on his armor. I don't know what this is called. Tabard, maybe. Looks pretty crisp, but the shield's really soft. I wonder why the polygons aren't polygoning on the shield. But overall, really cool. Really nice unit. Let's see what he looks like when he's ready. Nice pose there. Very cool. Very nice unit. Interesting. And something kind of an aggressive route, I presume. You could definitely use these guys in feudal for a bit of feudal aggression. They also have a lot of health. So on their own, obviously he's buffed by the other lords. If he's on his own, he's got... Why is he still getting +11? Is that his own inspiration that's giving him +11? I guess so. Very cool. That's a lot of health for feudal age. For reference, feudal age spearman has 94, 90 by default, so well over double the health of a spearman, and they have 2/2 armor. So these guys are going to be tanky, very tanky. Let's get some archery ranges and stables going, and the infamous manor. Let's have a look at this, because despite how strong it is, I'm sure it's a cool looking building. Got a new unit from the stables, and oh yes, of course, the new longbowman, the yeoman. Let's have a look at the manor first. This is the manor. Nice, nice model. Nice little fountain in there. I think they've reused some assets. I think this is just two houses sort of next to each other, isn't it? And a nice little stone wall. And see some little clipping. This is the side we're not supposed to see, I suppose. But the free camera allows us that. I like it. It's nice. Great reuse of assets. I think it's kind of what they need to save a bit on the money, right? To get these DLCs out. But very nice, cool, and it generates passive resources, which are very strong. But we're not going to talk about balance. It's too early in the day. Still got my morning coffee, and too early in the patch, I guess. What are you? You are a Hobbler. This is a light melee cavalry. Cheap cavalry, effective against at raiding, flanking, and countering ranged units. So same as any other horseman. Let's get this guy out of the way so we don't have bloated health numbers. So 100 health, 3 ranged armor. I think that's 1 more than a normal horseman. I think they have 2 by default. So stronger versus ranged, less damage, 7 damage. This is really funny. The little dagger that they're holding. Very cool. Love the little rose on the body. That's a nice little touch. Does anyone else have that? Ah, yeah, the yeoman has that as well. Nice. I mean, I think it's a little awkward how they're holding the dagger, but for clarity, like if you're at sort of normal zoom level, it's important to know what the unit is, and having the little dagger is quite a nice, unique point of focus. They improved the horse animation. Looks quite clean, doesn't it? It looks like he's proper galloping. Maybe I just haven't paid attention to the horseman animation as much, but smooth, really smooth. Got the tail going there as well. Very nice, very nice. And we'll take a look at the veterans of them as well as they age up through. I wonder if the Lords of Lancaster change how they look as we go through the ages. We'll have a look. All right, onto the yeoman, the Lord of the House of Lancaster. It's gonna take a while to get used to all of these new names. Looking cool. Nice hood. Is there any variation in these guys? No, they're all pretty much the same. Love the tabard. Nice half and half colorway there. They look good. They look really cool. Obviously, synchronized shot is their main unique modifier for these guys, and we'll have a look at that once we're in Castle Age. And yeah, not much else to say. They have a fast movement speed. 1.31 tiles is considerably faster than a spearman. Not as fast as a horse, as a hobbler, obviously. Lords of Lancaster are pretty slow, actually. So yeah, these guys move quickly. 6 tiles of range and just 5 damage. I think a standard longbow is 7 in the feudal age, so less damage, but maybe the synchronized shot makes up for that. They do have a tech in the manor, which is condensed land practices. Advancements in feudal land distribution practices increase the build limit of manors by +3 and the health by +200. And that's just the first one. There's a couple of these. So they start with 750 health, which is the same amount as a house. So actually pretty squishy. I mean, houses go down pretty fast in feudal age. So, but I mean, I presume you would want to get this fairly early. And that does bump them up to 950 health, which is quite a lot. They have the same ranged armor and everything as well. And this is also available in feudal. So potentially you can go up to your full mana limit of 9 in feudal age, which is, I guess, pretty risky. That's an awful lot of resources. But equally, you'll be getting an awful lot of resources back from all the passive. I guess you weigh it up, but at the moment they seem a bit overtuned. Okay, cool. On to Castle Age. We know roughly what the White Tower is from English, so let's go up with the King's College. Because actually, let's give it a bit of space. Let's pop it down here so we can get a good look at the building. This is another new, unique building, and oh yes, look at this. It's got grounds and everything. This is beautiful. Do a little slow pan around this. Let's get rid of the UI. Let's have a proper look. That is fantastic. Got a little stream with some bridges down here. That is a very, very nice looking landmark. Got some flying buttresses. I think that's what they are. Always got to point those out whenever I'm by a church or a cathedral if it's got some flying buttresses. I think you can get buttresses and a flying variant of buttress. Not actually sure the technical difference, but yeah, this is wonderful. This is really nice. Wonder who this guy is. Who knows? They probably modeled it after someone, right? Someone famous. I think they're pretty good on their old historical accuracy in general. Obviously it's a game, so you can't have everything. Okay, so there's a lot of text in here. By default, it grants 15% cheaper research costs. So that's reducing all research by 15%. It's pretty big, including the technologies, the like veterancy and stuff. So Spearman looks the same. Yeoman in Castle Age. Nice little chainmail shawl. Very nice. These guys, I don't think they changed, did they? They should get more health because they're now veterans? Or no? Maybe they just stay the same health. Plus 37. No, he's got a bit more health. Still 2-2 armor though, and he gained a little bit of damage as well. Let's take a look at the Hobbler. So they pick up a shield. He didn't have a shield in Feudal Age, did he? He's now got a little buckler. But otherwise the same. His leather has been upgraded to chainmail and a steel helmet, probably. And we do have synchronized shot. So let's take a quick look at that. Get these down here. It's got a very big range, huge range. This innocent sheep is our target. Very cool. Love the sound effect on it. Really nice. Just the general effect in the skill is awesome. I think they've done a really good job there. I was going to get rid of the UI, but I can't if we want to look at the text. So let's position this nicely in frame. Okay, what do we got? We have hill training. I'm just going to have some coffee actually. Like strong coffee this morning to get me through a busy day of new DLC content. Okay, hill training. Training in rugged terrain increases Hobbler charge damage by 150% and production speed by 100. Alright, get over here, Hobbler. What's your current charge damage? Spear charge. Okay, so they have a charge. Do I have a wolf anywhere? There's a wolf down here. They charge against the wolf, right? Okay, I didn't actually realize they have a charge. I don't think by default horsemen have charges. That may be really dense of me to say, but I don't think they do. Alright, let's see this. Charge. He did not charge at the wolf. So maybe it only works against other enemy units. He does not want to charge against the deer either. We'll have to look at that elsewhere. He actually has a spear in his little unit portrait. So Hobbler. So this gives 150% to their charge. So currently it's 9. And once we get this, it goes up to 22. That's a big chunk of damage. I mean, against... And that's plus... Wait, so they're doing 44 damage on their charge attack against ranged? That's half a health. Half the health of one of these guys. That's nuts. That seems crazy. And they're now producing doubly as quickly. Turn off in a jiffy to see their actual 8 seconds. That is quick. This is 8 seconds. Pretty fast. Okay, well these are going to be ridiculous for like flanking around a side of some archers and then attacking into them. It's going to be great. I mean, they're going to wipe them out. We'll have to test that out a bit later. Okay, interesting. That's just the first tech. Alright, on to the next one. Collar of Esses. Your knights and demi-lancers adorn their armor with the Lancaster livery, gaining +6 bonus damage against enemy armored units. Let's get a couple of knights on the field. I don't have demi-lancers. I think those only come from the other feudal age landmark, which we will restart and go down that route after. So currently, the knight has 24... Wait, what's it giving? Oh, +6 against armored. Okay. So they just get even stronger against armored units. These actually look different to the English Lancer, I think. Possibly. They're pretty cool. They're nice. I like their black stallion. I mean, this dude is armored to the nines. Again, the shield is like kind of soft, the texture, but everything else is like crisp lines. I've not really noticed that before, but yeah, similar to the Lord of Lancaster. Yeah, I don't know why I've been saying Lancaster. I'm from the south, so I would pronounce it Lancaster, but I don't know. If you're from Lancaster, it's probably Lancaster. Yeah, the shields are kind of soft. Strange. Okay. So knights and so they get knights and they get demi-lancers. Interesting. Why? Why do both? Why not just have the knight? I'm guessing the demi-lancers are a bit weaker. We will have a look at those. So for reference, the knight has, outside of the influence of a lord, they have 230 health in Castle Age and 4/4. So we'll try and remember that for when we look at the demi-lancer. Okay, next up. We need a siege workshop is what we need. War Wolf Trebuchet. Experience from building larger trebuchets increases their range by +2 and health by 50%. That is very cool. That's because they are squishy by default. But I mean, honestly, this is going to be the range that is. So what is their range? So that's 16 tiles of range. Makes this little mark in the terrain. Let's get a horseman, a knight out here just to sort of mark where this is. And we'll get this. Increases their range by 2. How are we going to do this? I need them to... Ooh, they got some gold upgrades on them. That's going to add a lot of weight, but you know, it makes them look good. Alright, and if we click the same spot... I should have put a marker where he was before, shouldn't I? But they now have 18 tiles of range, so 2 extra tiles. So it's a house extra. So I imagine the treb was about here beforehand. I mean, this looks absolutely awesome. Let's get rid of the UI and have a proper look at this. Absolutely love the sound of the trebuchet as well. I think they've done such a good job with that. I know it's from when the game first started, but every time I hear it, it's great. And yeah, this looks awesome. I really like the gold accents. So it now has 210 health and 18 tiles of range. I mean, that is a long way away. Like, it's going to take a knight a long time to get to a trebuchet. Without his charge ability, but still, it's ages. I guess he's, what speed is he? 162. These guys are 188. They do have decent siege damage, +9. Let's stop him from firing, because it's going to get annoying, isn't it? Burgundian imports. Importing Burgundian hand cannons enables hand cannoneers to be trained in the castle age and reduces hand cannoneer cost by 20. And they have some insane text. This one seems particularly nuts. So hand cannoneers, early hand cannoneers. I think this is the first one of these we get. I think is it Ottomans that have slightly earlier ones? Janissary, yes. I was right about the Ottomans, I just couldn't remember the name. So they do get early ones, early hand cannoneers as well. They're 60 food, 100 gold. These guys are 90. A bit more food, but less gold. I mean, they look pretty cool. 26 damage. Only 4 tiles of range, though. So they are... And 100 health, which is actually more than the longbowman. So this could be a pretty interesting little castle age timing. Because, I mean, these are going to shred anything. 26 damage. Yeah, even against a knight with 4 armor, they're still doing 22 damage per shot. So if you get 10 of these, which is expensive, but you know, you can one-shot a knight, which is pretty good in castle age. Hand cannoneer, same great mustaches. I mean, yeah, unless it's a goatee and some of it's hidden, but I like to believe it's a mustache, you know. Okay, next up, military tactics training. Advanced military tactics increase your troops' overall effectiveness in battle, improving their bonus damage by +20%. I wonder if this is going to stack with the previous upgrade we got that gave +6 to the heavy, against heavy for the knight. So what else has bonus? 7 against melee and light gunpowder, and these guys have that insane charge bonus against ranged and siege. +9/+9, and this increases it by 20%. +11/+11, and it increases the bonus on their spear charge up to 27. So they're now doing 52 damage. 52 damage? 49 damage. Out myself as being a very poor mathematician. 49 damage to with their charge to ranged and siege units, which is huge. +8, so they're going to shred any light melee infantry, and these guys have an extra 1 against heavy. So yeah, 31 melee damage against heavy units from these guys now. And that is the King's College. That seems very, very strong. And the other option was the White Tower, which I believe doesn't even you can't train units from it like you can the English. So it is just a keep. I don't know. I mean, if you need a keep, then sure, go for the White Tower. But the technologies in this seem very good. And the only other one is ships of the crown. So bigger and better ship hulls increases carrack damage by 20%, health by 20%, and range by 20%. So also, it's a very, very strong tech for the Imperial Age. And we'll take a little look at the boats later on. Oh, we haven't looked at these guys. The Earl's Guard. Oh yeah, how could I forget about these guys? Big old hammers. These dudes are awesome. 155 health. It's 1 damage for each active keep, and they throw a dagger periodically. So let's get a little target range going over here. Let's spread some of these poor sheep out. I think, will they throw? Yeah. Okay. Oh dear. All right, dagger, 16 dagger, 6.5 tiles range. He's chucking a dagger further than a yeoman can fire. Make that make sense. That is strange. So, all right, let's do a scuffed comparison here, shall we? 2 sheep in a line. Yeoman on the right. That's his range. 6 tiles. He gets 6.5 tiles of range. I mean, it's more or less the same. But, and he moved forward because I guess he didn't know if the dagger would kill it. So he was ready. He was like, if that dagger doesn't kill it, I'm closing the distance fast. So, yeah. What an arm. What an arm on this guy. And I guess he has to have a good throwing arm to carry this big old hammer as well. What's this doing? 12 damage. 1.38 attack speed. So, not too bad. This is their man-at-arms, basically. 100 food, 20 gold. So, same cost as a man-at-arms as well. 155. 4/4 armor? Wow. That is... as much as a knight, these guys are going to be pretty tanky. Their health pool isn't massive, though, I suppose. But they look great. I do think they've done a fantastic job with a lot of the models, both on the buildings and units. I know we haven't looked at the Templars yet, but I think they look awesome. Got a nice belt here, a little fashion accessory. And yeah, very, very cool. Nice half tabard again. I reckon they could have made this not red, because the yeomen have a nice white one. Maybe they'd look too similar. They probably would look too similar, wouldn't they? If that was white as well, they're going to blend in too much. Because they don't stand out loads if you had a mass of them. I mean, you can't tell. Can't tell which one's a Earl's Guard. Not at all. That's a cool looking army, though. I like this a lot. This comp. Yeoman plus Earl's Guard. Okay, we don't need to look at this. It's just the Berkshire. I guess the only thing it will do is give the Earl's Guard 1 extra damage. But we can mimic that. We'll be able to keep. And then we'll get the Wingard. So I think this does have, excuse me, some new things. It looks the same, which is not a bad thing, because it is, again, a very cool building. They look good in red though, don't they? Okay, so the Wingard Palace, I believe there are some new things in this. So we've got the Wingard Army. Let's get these guys out of the way. Wingard Army first off, which is 2 spearmen, 2 crossbowmen, and a trebuchet. This is standard for the Wingard Palace, I believe, and does come with the, what do they call this? The Warwolf trebuchet. So that's cool. The Earl's Retinue. So this is where we can get demi-lancers, so we'll take a look at those. And 2 Hobbler. I guess it's already Imperial Age, so the demi-lancers should have a model for both feudal and Castle Age. So this is their Imperial Age model. They look pretty beefy, don't they? Gold plating on the face. Gold armor on the knight who's sat rather uncomfortably. This guy here. Oh, he's to the back. He's okay. He's okay. He figured it out. So these guys, Imperial Age. No blacksmith upgrades, obviously. I haven't researched any of those. They also gain 1 extra damage per keep, so we can see they have 19. 5/5 armor, which is massive, and 240 health. So 10 more health. Actually, I do need to upgrade these to Imperial. So less health. Less health. Less damage. Same move speed. They are just a shit knight. Interesting. It seems everything about them is just slightly less, apart from the armor, which they do share. 5/5. But less health, less damage. Same move speed. Less charge damage. No cost, I suppose, because you can't directly train them. And they do, most importantly, I think, is they lose out on this little frilly bit. Yeah, no little frilly bit. They kind of look a bit awkward, actually. They look a bit naked, don't they? Oh, look away. That's, yeah. Not sure about that. Cover yourself up. This is not an R-rated game. Yeah, so Demi-Lancers. Pretty weak. Pretty weak, I think. Moving on. What else do we have? Garrison command is 8 spearmen and 1 Earl's Guard for 450 resources. It's pretty nice. I'm not going to go through and work out how cost effective all of these are right now. That's seems like too much work for too early in the morning. So yeah. And the next one is a gunpowder contingent. So they have culverins, but this gives them access to Riboldaquins as well, which the English don't have, I don't think. So this is a pretty nice addition because these things are just so good late game. If you've got a knight army, a cavalry army, and the enemy is building a lot of spearmen, these will just absolutely crush them. Now the House of Lancaster gets access to those via the Wingard Palace in Imperial Age. We did miss a little upgrade in the barracks. So this is the Imperial Age Earl's Guard. They get some Warhammer 40k style shoulder pads and a nice gold helmet to denote their elite status, I suppose. And there was something else. Throwing dagger drills. Earl's Guard are supplied with additional daggers when throwing. These daggers also deal a small amount of area daggers. They now throw 2 daggers but are less accurate. So if I aim at... It's going to be hard to see, isn't it? If I aim at this guy. Did I didn't research it. 2 daggers. Cooldown's like 15 seconds. And they do 25 damage. Did he kill Eddie? Did he miss both? I think he missed all of them. Same for this one in the middle. 2. Double kill. 2 sheep with 2 daggers. Doesn't have the same ring as 2 birds, 1 stone, does it? Okay, well these guys are my new favorite. I think these I really like these, and +5 armor when they are elite with 180 health. They've actually gotten rid of the armored shawl they have and gone back to a more fashionable choice. Speaking of fashionable choice, look at that hat. Okay, a little interlude there, but we were looking at these Imperial elite yeomen. They swapped out their chainmail shawl for a little less protection for some reason, but look at this hat. Looks like a rose. Coincidence? No, probably not. I think it was probably designed like that. Yeah, little rose heads. Rose-headed longbowmen. Very cool. Very nice. Okay, that's basically everything down the left-hand side of the age up tree. So we're going to restart and we're going to have a look at the right-hand side. I think there is less down this side. This time we'll use the Lancaster Castle, which needs a bit of space around it. I think this is like half a keep, and then this might be from maybe the King's Palace. I think it's like half keep, half King's Palace. But again, it looks cool. So do a little 360. No little glitchy textures which they had in the manor. As you see inside. Imagine if they hid something like in here. Why is there smoke? God, the keep's on fire. Maybe I wasn't supposed to see that. Yeah, I wonder like if there's just like a little like penguin or something just hidden in here. It'd be fun, wouldn't it? No? Okay, just alright. Yeah, nice. Cool. Imposing, I think. But it's not garrisonable. Garrisonable? Is that right? Yeah. And it doesn't have... it does have arrow slits. Arrow slits. 12 damage. So It is a defensive building, but only sort of one arrow at a time, I suppose. You pop your manners around, so we can pop them down, and it grants arrow slit emplacements and an extra 500 health to it. So that's huge. So now they've got 1250 health, and they do 8 bow damage per. And then you can upgrade these, like we saw earlier. And that sheep carcass is blocking them. But these can go like quite far away and still get the bonus. And you can basically use these as a little defensive tower. And they've got so much health as well. 1750 health. Impenetrable little fortress, really, isn't it? I think a lot of the discourse online about these is how this shouldn't really be a thing. I think, you know, these should be further out, maybe on resources. So maybe you would have one here and then one over here, and they wouldn't kind of be buffing each other up, and it would be, yeah, just a bit more vulnerable, I think is what people are saying. So that's the Lancaster Castle, and you can also levy some different groups of units. So the first one is muster the nobles, levy 2 demi-lancers and an additional 1 for each manor. So we have made maximum manors, which you probably wouldn't in feudal age, but you can muster the nobles, and this will give you 11, because you get, was it 2 and then 1 for each manor? So you get 11 demi-lancers. So these are we weren't able to look at these are the feudal age demi-lancers. I think these look really cool, actually. I really like the leather armor on them. They've done a really good job on the textures, actually. It looks, I know we're really close to it, but it looks good. Very cool. And we'll see what they look like in Castle Age. We did already see their model in Imperial. But this is quite a substantial army. If you're able to do this without any sort of interaction from the opponent, I mean, they're kind of letting you win at that point, aren't they? And then you can just plop out 11 demi-lancers. These have 140 health, +2/+2 armor, and very low damage, 8 damage. I think that's the same as a regular spearman, maybe. So pretty weak on the old damage side. And then the demi-lancers are now looking pretty good. They don't have the little tapestry bit at the bottom. I think they just look like they've got like short skirts on. Yeah, looks a little awkward. I'll be honest. I'm not a fan of this weird half armor. I think they need the little fringe or the frills. You're gonna catch a chill, you know, for a start. Okay. Imperial Age is, oh, it's just the Berkshire. So actually that was it. It was just these and the demi-lancers in Feudal and Castle that we hadn't looked at. So yeah, and oh, 2 more levies actually. Shire levy, I guess that's the Castle Age one. So that was a lot of yeomen, 17. So I guess 11 yeomen, 8 yeomen plus 1 for each manor, and then 1 demi-lancer, 1 Earl's Guard, and 1 yeoman per manor. That's huge. It's awful lot of resources. 2,500 resources of units about to pop out instantly. That's an entire, that's a whole army. Pretty well balanced army at that. I mean, that's the House of Lancaster in one screen right there, isn't it? We get the manors in the background. Very cool stuff. They seem pretty simple. I mean, they are very simple. Definitely some really strong techs and some nice looking new units. I think I'd put Earl's Guard up there as my favorite from House of Lancaster. I think Demi-Lancers is lower down. Not a massive fan. of them. They look okay, I guess. But yeah, Yeoman and Earl's Guard, very nice. Oh, and the Lords of Lancaster. Top 3. Top 3, House of Lancaster, new units. Next up, the Templars. And there's a lot to cover. Alright, next up, Knights Templar. I took a while getting through all the House of Lancaster units, so we're going to try and be a bit quicker. It's supposed to be a kind of quick first impression, so less text, more just, ooh, look at how cool these new units look for the Knights Templar. And there's a lot of new units, so let's get going. We are on one of the new maps. It is called Flank Woods. Like we've got some stealth forest all the way around the edge, which is pretty cool, and a little bit of elevation. But that is not what we're here to look at. We're here to look at the new units for the Knights Templar. Now, Knights Templar age up similarly to Age of Empires 2, so through the TC. We're going to take the left path first, go through all 3 ages, restart, go through the middle, and then the right. So, first off, Knights Hospitaller increases the health of all civilian units by 30% and increases healing from all sources by 30%. I believe we get access to a new unit as well. I don't know why that's not coming up on here. I feel like it should be. And you can see him in the TC. I love this detail actually on the town centre, although it's actually called the Templar headquarters, so I should probably refer to it as that. We've got the Knights Hospitaller flag plus the Hospitaller Knight, and he is out. So get one over here. I think he looks absolutely awesome. Just really cool. I love the black and white styling on him. I think these guys, the Knights Templar, look pretty good in orange as their color choice as well. Let me know what you think if you have a better choice, but I do think the orange works really well. And I mean, these guys are just awesome. Let's have him charge. Be ready. Very cool. And if you did watch the House of Lancaster, I mentioned how the shields on the Knights and the Lord of Lancaster are kind of blurry, but these look beautifully crisp. Really nice shields there. Yeah, just such a cool unit. And these guys are the men-at-arms equivalent, and they do have healing abilities, so they can heal other units. So really cool to work these. Either have these, I don't know if you can mass them. They're not particularly tanky, only 1 ranged armor. They do 10 damage though, but it's the utility from the healing which I think is really going to be the thing you make these knights for. An archery range and stables, and we will also take a look at the fortress as well and all the upgrades in that. Nothing new in here, just a horseman which shares the same look as, I guess, the French. And the archers, standard archer and crossbowman. There will be different things to unlock as we choose the other age up options. But for the Knights Hospitaller, that's all there is, just the Hospitaller Knight. And this over here, all of this is the fortress, looking ridiculously cool. They've really just captured the aesthetic of this so well. That door is kind of looks pretty modern though. I suppose. But yeah, I love this. I think it's so cool. I don't know if it connects to walls directly. It kind of looks like it should, but I didn't see that in the patch notes, so I'm guessing not. It's really nice. And I think it adds, depending on which other age ups you choose, it'll add more flags on just to denote that to yourself and to your opponents, I suppose. Really, really cool. And it does become a landmark. It's not technically a landmark, but it will go towards your landmark victory win condition. There's a few techs on the fortress as well. The only one you can get in Feudal Age is Desert Citadels. So these do have an aura which increases the range of nearby units by 15%. So that's pretty great. And this improves the armor as well. So you can upgrade that. So now this guy's got +1/+1 on his armor. Obviously no range because he's a melee unit. And as he leaves the zone, it drops back to his normal amount. So yeah, really cool. And you definitely want to be fighting around these where you can. Let's go up to the next age and let's stick with our choosing the left option. So we're going to go with the Angevin Empire. I swear this, when I jumped into a game earlier, I swear you could see the little unit that you would unlock by going a certain thing. Angevin Empire. Fortresses and docks gain 30% health. And this must also unlock some units. Ah, of course, the heavy spearman. One of my new favorites, I think. Absolutely love this unit. And this has given our fortress plus 2,500 health. So now 6,500 health on the fortress with 6 fire armor as well. We can get the springled in placement. I don't know if that makes any visual difference though, which is a bit of a shame. It would be good. I don't know if like anything appeared on the top. We do see the flag at the top though, which is very nice. We can get boiling oil, which does put the little cubby holes on the side, and also treasure towers, which increases the gold generation of monasteries, sacred sites, and pilgrims by 20%. So within the aura, so you want to put this next to one of the sacred sites. In fact, let's just pop one of these down over here. And treasure towers has added these little gold chests on top, looking very pirate-esque now. Let's actually activate some pilgrims, shall we? And we can take a little look at these. We can't control them, so we're not going to be able to have a really good look at them, but we can sort of get in their path. And these guys wander off to whatever sacred site you've chosen and will deposit the amount of gold that they have traveled with. So 78 per trip. And they do just make one trip. So they will... Well, you'll see, they kind of just get abducted as they go on. I guess by aliens or God. You know, choose whichever one you prefer. I'm going to go with aliens. I think they plonk themselves here. And the aliens... You know when something dies in a video game and the coins just on the floor? That's how I imagine. Except they're being abducted by aliens. Just such a cool concept for a Civ. Really like the theming of the Knights Templar. Protect your pilgrims on the way. This map's actually pretty good for it. We're really close. It's only 72. One of them had 78. It kind of varies, I guess, wherever they pop out of the TC per trip, but it's every minute. And yeah, if you can get a fortress down, maybe towards your opponent, you could protect this pretty well. So I think the treasure towers is actually generating a bit more gold. Okay, back to the heavy spearmen now. And these guys, big old shield, denoting that they are a heavy unit. And let's move him out of the range of this so we can see his stats proper. 140 health, 11 damage, 1.12 move speed, so they are very slow. And a great mustache. And a big shield. So these are spearmen without the kind of negatives of a regular spearman. So they do have 4 ranged armor. It's just going to do so much work to help them not get killed by archers. They are a heavy melee infantry, so you'll want crossbowmen to counter these units. Let's get him over here. I do think he looks fantastic. Really cool. Ready to clash with an oncoming cavalry force. Fully armored. Just very, very cool units. The theming of Templars, again, just with all the especially the melee infantry, I think is just really cool. Really leans into the, what do they call it? Power fantasy, I suppose. Yeah, these shields look great. Pretty cool. Again, orange. Best choice of color. Easy. Let's upgrade our Hospitaller Knights to Veteran. See what they look like now. I mean, they looked cool anyway. How can you not say that this is not the coolest looking new unit? Look at this dude. That hood. I mean, he's not very armored, but he looks cool as hell. You don't really want to have an army of these chasing you down, do you? So cool. I wish you could, like, put them on top. Just as, I don't know, decoration or something. They look awesome. Horseman does have a little cross on his back. I think that's specific to the Knights Templar. So maybe they don't look exactly the same. Does that mean their archers are slightly different? They do have... Oh, these are new. Let's get those down there. So yeah, they look a little different, I guess. Different colours and tabards. Crossbowmen look cool as well. Yeah, nice. Where's our stable? Upgrade this guy. I think he shares everything with the French horsemen, but obviously different heraldry on the front. Now we did spawn, what is this guy? A Templar brother. And they do have a tech that gives them +2 charge damage per nearby charging heavy cavalry. Okay, right. Where are these guys? Well, these look very nice. I like their helmet. I don't think we've seen that shape of helmet in the game before. Man, that's a clean looking unit though. All white with the steel colored armor. Very cool. And these guys, 275 health, 4 armor with 24 damage and a 36 damage charge. So this is the knight replacement for the Knights Templar. I think it's more or less the same model as the French knight, but I'm not sure about the helmet. Maybe that's different. I don't know the French knight that well, even though it's the only unit they ever build. Again, the shield's just kind of soft. Fudgy. Shame. Well, that's cool. Nice, yeah, really cool unit. Templar brother. 275 health. That seems quite a lot. I'm guessing that's just there by standard. I don't think I got that from our individual age ups. What would be good is if you could see... Yeah, I mean, I guess you can see what you got. We got the Spearman. We got the Hospitaller Knight. Alright, let's head to age 4. Kingdom of Poland. All cavalry gain 10% health and 50% charge damage. So that will stack very nicely with Rule of Templars, which is increased damage per currently charging heavy cavalry. So yeah, let's go for Kingdom of Poland. We do see another horseman has spawned in there. Is he holding his hammer backwards? Surely that's not right. That doesn't... that can't be right. Okay, do we get any other new units? No other new units, but we can upgrade the Knights, Hospitaller Knights to Elite, and also the Heavy Spearmen to Elite. Let's take a look at those. I mean, they just get even better. He's got a gold sword. Very nice. And a big old cape now. Just awesome. A lot of armor now. That seems to have jumped up a lot. Didn't they start with like 1 armor in Feudal? Feudal? Man, and this is a nice model for the Heavy Spearman as well. Really cool. 5/5. So, yeah, the Hospitaller Knight has now surpassed the armor of the Heavy Spearman, even though he was behind in the previous age. So getting up to Imperial Age, getting these to Elite has bumped up ranged and melee by 2 and range by 3, I think. You'll be able to tell me in the comments if I'm just memory like a sieve. 210 health as well, so big bump in tankiness for these guys with 14 sword damage, and the Spearman 170 health, 13 damage. Actually, I'm going to try and just make nothing but these guys because they are my favorite so far. Are these the same? Oh, these are... so they've got the helmet as well. Yeah, these look different. They're men-at-arms. Should have been looking at all of the different units. Different colorways. Maybe different tabard and helmet for the men-at-arms. And just pop these up through to elites. Damn! Look at this guy. Elite man-at-arms looking sick. I mean, these are so cool. They're infantry units. Why you'd ever want to make cavalry with Knights Templar when their melee units look this good? That is awesome. 180 health, so less than the Hospitaller, and the same armor. They move slightly They move slightly slower and have the same damage. So there, what was the cost difference? 120 and 50. So far more gold for the Hospitaller, but half the food. Very, very cool. Man, I'm glad I actually looked at it. He looks really cool. Very nice. And the Spearman is looking pretty good. Shame they still have this kind of billhook spear. I would have loved to see some different Spearmen. This is just the French Spearman. Grade 2 elite, and as usual there is a lot more gold, and they have a big cape as well. That's very distinct actually from the far out camera view. Very distinct cape and nice gold accents. Basically just the men-at-arms model, isn't it, but on horseback. I love the orange. I know I've said it like 3 times now, you're probably sick of it, but the orange looks fantastic. Last unit, this is the Lancaster cavalry. Expensive cavalry with high damage and ranged armor. Slows enemies' attack speed when attacking. Strong versus light infantry. So they're strong versus light infantry, and also countered by spearmen, which are light infantry. He looks cool. 385 health. He kind of looks like he'll be less tanky than the knight. His ranged armor is 8 by default, and he reduces attack speed, and he's got the charge. So he has a charge as well. 72 lance damage. Wow, I wish I could charge something, but I didn't put any enemies in the lobby. That's a lot of damage. How expensive were these guys? 180, 120, so 300 resources, which is a little bit more than the Templar brother. But yeah, stats-wise, they are stacked. They're going to be weak to melee. I wonder how like men-at-arms would do against them. Spearmen are kind of going to crush them. They do 40 damage per hit against spearmen, though. So interesting unit. I don't know what to make of this. Apart from he looks really great. The hammer to me just looks like it's back, like he's holding it wrong. Though that's the one thing I would say about this unit. But yeah, very cool. I think it's just the horse is just the French horseman from Imperial. Yeah, but then with some extra gubbins on him. And it's a black horse, so it kind of mixes up the look a lot. Very cool. Lancaster cavalry. Sweet. So there are some new techs. I don't really want to go into all of these because there are just so many. They've got some upgrades to crossbows. Light cavalry gain 2 armor. What is this, a heavy cavalry? It is heavy. So that only applies to the normal horsemen, I suppose. They can get biology, obviously. And trebuchets gain additional projectiles. So no gunpowder units at all, including bombards, culverin hand cannons, nothing of the sort for the Templars. You're attacking that wolf? Oh, you miss. Wow, that is loud. Wow, the echo from that. It's even louder. Is that because it's a hui pal? Yeah, so they get compensated by having stronger trebuchets, as you can see from the 1 additional projectile. So that's actually throwing 2 as is. Yep, 3 projectiles. I think wolves are impervious to trebuchet fire. Who would have thought? They do have another tech here. Templar brothers and commandery units gain 10% damage when below 50% health and 30% when below. That's a massive upgrade. So any commandery units, which are the Hospitaller Knights and the Spearmen, along with the Templar Brother, 10% damage and 25% damage when below 50 and 30% health. That's really big. I mean, imagine doing a charge under 25% health. You're going to be hitting like 100 with these Templar brothers. Man, there's a lot to dig into for the Templars. We've only gone through 1/3 of their units, and I've been recording for 26 minutes. So let's restart. We've done the Hospitaller, we've done the Angevin Empire, and we chose Poland. So this time, Kingdom of France. Military units are produced 15% faster and cost less gold. And this gives us a horseman unit. So let's get stable down. And this has unlocked the Chevalier Confrère. That might be how you say it. I don't know. This is a heavy cavalry with high damage. It gains health from nearby heavy cavalry. Cheaper than a regular knight. And I guess you get the bonus from going up with the French, which was 5% less as well. Heavy armor, strong melee, countered by spearmen and crossbow. Another excellent looking unit. I know I said you'd probably want to make only infantry if you're playing Templars because they look so cool, but they have done a fantastic job on the cavalry units as well. Really nice. 160 health, 1 max health for each nearby heavy cavalry. 2/2 armor, 14 sword damage, 21 lance, and looking hella good when doing it. So one health. That's, I mean, honestly, you're like, oh yeah, health per extra cavalry, but I don't know. How often do you have? I guess even 10. If you have 10, they each give every other horseman 10 health. So actually as a group, they're getting another 100 health. So, although that's +9, so it doesn't count them. So you need 11 to get an extra 100 health. So I guess, yeah, it scales fairly well. Cool little addition. But I don't think it's going to be something you particularly look to go for. They look great once again. I think I'm just a sucker for black and orange. Really, really nice. So let's go next. Republic of Genoa. So that's extra 30% gold from the pilgrims, and looks like we get a little crossbow unit. They did have crossbowmen anyway, so let's compare the two. Seems appropriate. Where are they? Here they are. So this is a Genoese crossbowman against a regular crossbowman. Interesting, again, that they have both. Lovely green tights, mate. Very nice. Where are his eyes? Are these supposed to be little eye holes that he's looking through? Oh my god, that's terrifying. Look at that. Under there. Whoa. Yeah. He's seen some things, that's for sure. Or maybe he hasn't. Maybe he's lived in a cave all his life, so that's why he has to shield himself from the sun. Anyway, we're looking at the units. Okay, well, instantly a lot more health on these guys. So 80 for a crossbowman. These have 110. They have 1 ranged armor and do 21 crossbow damage, and a bonus to melee. A bonus to melee infantry, not a bonus to heavy. So they are not a counter heavy crossbow, which is a little strange. They're just effective against melee specific infantry. Okay, not like melee units, just melee infantry. The damage is high, but it's not against heavy. Okay, interesting. And what's the cost? 80 and 38. 80 and 95. Holy crap, that's an expensive unit. I'm not sure about them. Look, they look great, and the shield is really nice. They look very, very unique. Slightly different colorway to what we usually see on units as well. They stand out, that's for sure, but yeah, that's weird. Tell me what you think about that, because I am unsure. Is the 21 crossbow damage, so it's 10 extra damage, and then more on top if it's against melee infantry. Am I missing anything else? They have 1 more range. 2.62 attack speed, so they're slower attack speed and slower movement. Like a weird tanky crossbowman with slightly more range. Yeah, I'm not sure. On the face of things, I'm unsure about these guys, but they do look very cool. So they've got that going for them. And was there anything else? Yes, we need to upgrade our existing horseman. That's the veterancy on our Chevalier Confrere. Again, looking excellent. Got little ghost horses going on here, ready for Halloween. Awesome. Again, these don't look like heavies. They do kind of look like a light horseman, which I would probably say is the only sort of downside. They're not super heavy. It's 3/3. It's not like a knight. I think they had 5/5 armor in Castle Age, so they are less tanky. So I guess the look kind of makes sense. Maybe let's cancel their little brace because their lances are going wild. Nice. Ghost ponies. Excellent. Let's go to Imperial with the Teutonic Order. All gold units gain +2 melee armor. So a bit of synergy there with the reduced gold cost from the French in edging up to feudal as well. And, oh yes, look what we get. Perfect synergy with that tech, the extra 2 armor, is the Teutonic Knight. We're going to have a good look at him first. Let's upgrade these guys. That's the elite crossbowman and the elite Genoese crossbowman. Just a lot of gold, looking absolutely fantastic. I've got so many new units to screenshot and cut out, which I really enjoy doing actually. I think they... Is this a different model for the crossbowman? I mean, look at this guy. Look at this guy. Insane. So cool. Awesome helmet. Gold sword. Completely impractical. Would never work. Even as some weird alloy, I think. Just definitely wouldn't work. But it looks badass nonetheless. And these guys have 310 health. They debuff nearby enemy units. -2/-2 armor. They do 24 sword damage and move incredibly slowly. 0.9 tiles a second. Gotta be one of the slowest units. I mean, how? Yeah, that's very slow. These guys are 1/6. So even these guys are faster. But yeah, what they make up for, what they lack in speed, they make up for in style, substance, coolness, and yeah, and they do gain 5 health, 1 damage for every kill they get. So you could, if you kept one of these alive, what was it in Command and Conquer Generals, where they get the little like veterancy logos atop their model? That would be great. I'd love to see that. But yeah, very, I mean, such a cool unit. And what was the tech we got? It was, oh yeah, the +2 melee armor, right? So that was it. They have the Templar brother as well. Let's upgrade our Chevaliers to elite. Again, nice bit of gold. The horse gets a bit of armor on its head. And fully plate armor on the face as well. And black tabards, is that, did they change as we made them elite? I mean, they look so cool. So very, very cool. I think I would like to main Templars. They just seem so interesting. I don't think I'm smart enough or dexterous enough to. But I will be playing a few games as Templars later on. Okay, heading up to Feudal Age. Principality of Antioch, melee units gain 10% damage. And we do get a new unit, the Sergeant. So let's make some of them. They look kind of nice, it's kind of simple, but I like it. What was it, 10% extra damage? And this is the Sergeant. Ah, they have teardrop shields, okay. Teardrop shields with no ranged armor or melee armor. 95 health. These are the first unit to have a ranged attack which does melee damage, I believe. So yeah, really interesting. I guess that probably has a lot of implications that I can't think of right now. But one thing I do want to know is, do these guys get increased damage from melee? I mean, it must be, right? It's a melee damage, but this should give them +1. It went up +2. Is that? Wait, was that from the age up? Oh god, I'm gonna have to consult the tech tree. Which one did we do? This one. 10% damage. So is the 10%? No, they got an extra damage. They got an extra damage, and I'm guessing Steeled Arrow will not do anything for them. No. So yeah, so they scale off melee damage and melee techs. So yeah, very cool. What's their range? 4 tiles of range. So they are quite short range, but I guess what's their move speed? 1.25. So they're not too slow. You could probably kite an attack with these guys. Obviously not quite sure of their place in the game yet, as they're the first unit of their kind. But I like it. I love getting some new tech, some new unique flavor into the game. A melee ranged unit, melee damage ranged unit, melee ranged damage unit. Nice. So that was Feudal Age with oh god, I've forgotten it. Antioch something or other. Principality of Antioch. Okay. And next up, obviously you wouldn't choose these, like you would mix and match, but I'm just going down the right hand tree. Kingdom of Castile. Units near sacred sites gain 20% damage and regenerate health. So this, like we were mentioning earlier, if you do make your fortress on a sacred site, this has a buff increasing range. So actually I guess this won't affect these guys because they're technically melee. So their range currently is 4. So if they're in range of this, it shouldn't change. Yeah, okay. But their damage went up. Oh, because of what we just got, which is increased damage near sacred sites. Kind of wish you could see. Yeah, 20% damage. I wonder what nearby is. When does this wear off? Still got it. Okay, so it's a pretty big. About this bush. It's this bush far away. In a circle, I mean, it's going to be pretty big zone. I think it's bigger than this zone around the fortress. So yeah, you 20% damage around the sacred site, plus increased range if you've got a fortress by the sacred site. There's a lot of stuff that you can stack for these guys, and we did unlock a new horseman unit, which we will take a look at. Wait, did we? Yeah, what's this guy? Who's this? Weaponless man. No new horseman? Ah, ranged horseman. The Genitor. Don't say that too sloppily, huh? Okay, so this is a mounted javelineer by the looks. Highly mobile ranged cavalry that throws javelins. High mobility, exceptional versus ranged units. High ranged armor. Does have 5 armor. I do have the 1 blacksmith tech, so 4 ranged armor. No melee armor. 6 javelin damage and 10 against range, with a 6 tile range, which is the same as the yeoman on House of Lancaster. So yeah, I mean, if you're against House of Lancaster, make these guys. They're gonna absolutely run rings around them. Pretty low damage, I think, unless you are against ranged. Their damage is so heavily weighted versus ranged. Plus 12, you see there. That is because I've got a couple of the sacred site buffs and stuff going on, and nearly 7 tiles of range, being by the fortress as well. So very cool, very nice. Let's upgrade our sergeants into veteran, and they get a nice upgrade on their armor. Some chainmail up to the eyes. That's what you need. That's what I'd like if I was going into battle. Chainmail up to the eyes. Not past the eyes though. No. Just up to the eyes. And yeah, they look. These look so cool. God, the Templar units are so cool. What the hell did you pick? Like, there's too many. There's too many options. They're all so good. I thought I wanted just the infantry that we looked at first, but man, yeah, these guys are awesome as well. Okay, last thing, and then I'll let you go. You can go back to your day. Okay, last one. Republic of Venice reduces the change in the base buy or sell price by 75% when trading resources at the market. Okay, so market bonuses plus. Oh my god, what is this? What the hell is this, dude? I thought we'd seen the best melee infantry that the Templars had to offer. Okay, right. Condottiero. Sounds kind of Italian, maybe. Fast armored. I have not seen these. I have missed these completely through. Wow. Through all of the preview stuff. I didn't see anyone get these. Fast armored infantry that deals more and takes less damage from gunpowder units. It's an anti-gunpowder unit. First of its kind. With a big old tassel, big old feathered hat, which is absolutely wonderful. Tiny little cape though. That's kind of embarrassing. It's like someone's just they ran out of fabric. They got all the way through the other 9 different age ups and were like, shit, we've run out of fabric for the condottieros. Great medallion though. Wow, these guys are cool. 195 health, very low armor, only 1/1 by default. But these are squishy. They're similar to like a Landsknecht, like expensive, but wait, just gold? Oh, interesting. Nothing but gold. Okay. High gold cost. I mean, only gold cost. Fast move speed 144. That is very quick for a melee unit. Yeah, look at them run. 19 damage plus 16 versus gunpowder. This is an interesting unit, and they receive less damage. This is like mega late game unit. Once the enemy has a load of hand cannons. Sick. Really cool. Condottiero. Probably absolutely butchering that, but there we go. Okay, let's upgrade these. Elite. Nice bit of gold. Classic. So these are lightly armored. Nice helmet there. Very pink skin, isn't he? Been in the sun a bit too long, I think. Nice stripy clothes. Cool looking unit. Very nice. I think that's the Gulam's shield, which is kind of interesting. Or at least it's similar. Let's upgrade our sergeants to elite. Ooh, where's that blue sheen coming from? Interesting. And they just get a bit of gold as well. And some more armor, as is standard. Basically completely anti-melee. They kind of get a bit wrecked by range. 165 health isn't huge. And these guys, more range bonus damage. Well, I think that's everything. Now I need to chop this video down and smush the two together for my first impressions. It's been a very long video. If you have stuck around to the end, I appreciate that greatly. Subscribe for some more content. I'm going to have some more precise proper guides coming out for both of the new civs and some other videos I have in mind as well. But that is everything for the first impressions. Some absolutely fantastic units from the Knights Templar. Really, really awesome. Thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day. See you later.